Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 477. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Hey.
And Tony Corkinine.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers.
Preview.
Yes. To 477 of the Gamecast. So we had the Game Awards last week. That's what we're going to be talking. We did. That's where our news is.
Did anything happen?
No, not much. Actually, not much. I mean, Game of the Year got announced. We're going to go over the awards. We're going to go over the previews. There was a lot of previews. It was confusing when it actually started. I will say that.
It was a fake out.
Yeah, I was a little annoyed. Don't fake me out.
I heard what I heard, not confirmed, but I heard that traffic was just so terrible in LA at the time. There was like a lot of like people that were needed to be there.
That's
and, like,
LA, you know.
Yeah.
LA traffic, man.
You gotta
not that I'm
get there 2 hours early, man.
That's LA though.
Dude, you're talking about celebrities and shit, like
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying it's definite, but
the celebrities that closed it out, maybe they delayed it.
Yeah.
So
generation of delays, even.
I mean, it worked
even
out
shows.
fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
My favorite reveal was in the pre-show.
My least favorite reveal was the closer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, like, it wasn't like you were getting advertised that it was going to start, and then it didn't start.
We still got previews. We got awards, too. All right, let's get into what I've been up to. Since I'm talking, I'll kick us off. Jedi Fallen Order is all I've been playing, really. I have Pokemon. I haven't started yet because I was off today. My goal was to start if I was going into work. But because I've been watching a lot of Star Wars movies, and I knew that I was going to catch up today, really. I mean, The Last Jedi is what I have left. But so I'll get Pokemon going soon. But, man, the Fallen Order is I'm so happy that this game came out. Thank you, Respawn, for finally coming through on a Star Wars game that is so fun to play. Like, so fun to play. Mm-hmm. It's a fun story. The only gripe I have with this entire game so far, besides a couple of like control issue glitches, like little stuff, but the biggest issue I have is the actor that got to play the main character. He's so bland. I'm sorry.
Everything about the main character is terrible. Like, yeah. I hate his design, his voice, everything about it. Just, oh god.
Yeah. It's bad that when you're playing a character, you're like, man, I hope I die at the end of this game. But I am enjoying this game so much. The Jedi powers you unlock. I mean, I'm actually like, this is a Dark Souls style game, and that was a big holdup for me. And I'm so happy to have it. This is why they need to have those level difficulties, Tony, in these games, because like I love some of these universes, but I won't touch these games. No, I'm sorry, Corey. Fuck the purists. You guys can play your game the way you want to play it, but let me play your game too. No. Why does it have to be exclusive? Why is it got to be?
We have a podcast about this, but like, you're talking about like the universe and things. To me, this is not necessarily a Dark Souls game. This is a Star Wars game with like similar mechanics to what Dark Souls is doing.
I mean,
but it's not like it's not punishing you as like Dark Souls.
It does punish you though.
It does.
Spoiler alert, I've been playing this game too.
Oh good. I have almost died in this game on easy. So actually, I have died in easy.
You're getting the game. So there you go.
No, I am. It's not like it's not challenging for me. There are fights that I'm just kind of cutting through, and I'm like, I'm sure that was easy. Like the ATST fights and stuff you get in this. There's some weird stuff there's some cool stuff and there's some weird stuff in this game. But this force powers, the more you unlock in this game, the more fun combat becomes, because you can incorporate them into your combat. And man, I'm like, I just finished Kashyyyk, and there's a couple of different planets on there. I mean, there's a whole bunch of areas you can go to, but you know, it's so fun to play this game. Like, I'm enjoying it. In fact, like I have to finish this game because to have our of the year conversations, this game has to be finished. That's all I'm saying. That's how much I'm enjoying this game, because it's a Star Wars game, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and they have been so bad that like to have a game that is good and delivering and not letting me down at certain, like we've talked this year about these games that have like been so much fun, but just failed to get to that point of excellent. This game is just still fun, and the combat is fun. It's not failing to get past that point. It's delivering on more as I go through this game. Mm-hmm. It's not getting repetitive. It's because it's adding new stuff as I go. So I'm really enjoying this game so much, and graphically it looks actually really awesome. Like I was just playing it earlier, and the lighting was incredible on parts of the game. They just patched it a little bit actually too for the way it was performance-wise running, and I wonder if that went into it because it hasn't looked that great, and then suddenly like I'm playing this game, I'm like, there's some bright stuff. So I'm like, HDR may be actually working right now. I don't know now, finally, because they just patched it today. To the point where I had that weird glitch. Remember I talked about the Outer Worlds where I couldn't play the game? It just wouldn't. I started that this morning and I couldn't play the game. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I actually ejected the disc, popped it back in, couldn't play it. And then eventually it started saying updating. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if that was going on with Outer Worlds. It just didn't catch up and tell me this. Because I didn't have.
Did you ever check the queue and to see if there was like a pending update?
I didn't, and that's where I realized like maybe that's why I fucked up on Outer Worlds. So by popping the disc in and out, maybe that queued the update for me, and that's how I got it. But I didn't have that opportunity with Outer Worlds because it's digital. So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. That's really all I've played, and I keep playing it. Like I get a free moment, like I play like 30 minutes of it because the save points are they're close together, so that you can just play a section. And I played a little longer than I expected to today because I'm like, well, let me just finish this, and it just kept going, and I'm like, oh, okay, whoops. But I can't wait to see what happens in this story. Like it's actually a fun single player experience in a game. It's doing well, like it's doing great for a game, and I'm so happy to see that because if these kind of games for Star Wars should exist. Not Battlefront 2. No offense to Battlefront 2. It can exist, but there's no reason why this can't either. So I'm really happy to see this. And that,
Battlefront
that's really
2 is not a bad game. It's just bad model. It's put into the game.
Right now it's probably a good game.
Well, I mean, I mean,
I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even mind if they
go up.
I'm probably gonna play it if I feel it like it after.
I mean, that's canon story too. Like Battlefront 2's got a story that's canon into the universe.
The stories are all right.
I feel like in this game they could give something to BioWare and say, listen, can you give us Knights of the Old Republic using this you have your frame, give us what we want, and they could do it because they have this great frame here, and I think they can improve on it. So, but because they're all the same company and they have the same engine now, it's there. The tools are there, so there's no excuse not to give a single player role playing experience. But Tony, you've been playing it a little bit.
Yeah, I probably played it for about 2 hours, maybe a little less. It's not too far. I got to one of the first areas that, like, your journey begins and stuff like that. No spoilers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. I wish the performance were a bit better. Hopefully that patch helped that because you can definitely see that they're pushing the limits of the current iteration of
hardware.
The systems. Yeah, the hardware. And this is even on a PlayStation 4 Pro. So it's kind of like, whatever.
I heard that, like, I'm playing in just 4K 30 frames because I heard the 60 frames is so variable that it's not worth locking in that mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it feels weird. But it plays great. What was I gonna say? It is a lot like Dark Souls. Like you could definitely tell there's inspirations. Like, the save points are almost exactly like bonfires that you go into that's how you save. You can rest to regain your health, but resting respawns all the enemies. It's like, okay, cool. When you die, like there's no souls, I thought, but experience. You actually lose experience if you die. So it's like Diablo or Final Fantasy 11 or there's another game that did that too. Where it's like, oh, like I need to kill this enemy to get my XP back before you can cash it in. You can only spend your XP at the save points. It's not like you just,
Oh wait, do you lose the experience forever, or does it all like sort of go to that specific enemy?
It goes to an enemy in that area that you died, and you need to kill that enemy to get the XP back. So if you die again, you're fucked.
Because this is probably going to be the first game like this that I'm going to play. So,
yeah, but I mean the thing is there are varying difficulty modes.
Are you on Jedi Knight? Is that what you're playing
on? Master.
Oh, you went one up. Okay, I went one down.
Yeah.
I wonder how Knight is. I really wonder how Knight is.
That's probably the sweet spot because
that's the default.
Yeah.
Because I've died a couple times already, and I'm
planning on playing at the default.
It's such a huge counter-based system. That's why I know it's based on Dark Souls. Like everything is based on slower combat. Even on easy, it's like I can mash my buttons on certain characters I know of, but like. And that's why I'm actually getting better, and I would like to actually try this game Jedi Knight because my timing is getting better to the point where I'm in a combat now with guys shooting me, and I'm fighting somebody with one of those shock sticks. So I'm fighting this guy, and I'm watching them shoot, and I hit my timing to ricochet their laser bolts as I'm still fighting this guy.
Yeah.
I can't like tell you that like that's how much fun this combat is. I'm like a fucking Jedi finally. Like I'm throwing him out of the way so I can block the laser bolts and send them back at them. It's so fun with that. But go on, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. The one thing I would say I'm not enjoying is the
Traversal.
my biggest criticism of AAA games, where it's just like, oh, like exploration that's forced on you because, you know, immersion, like where it's just like, oh look, Sony climbing, like, and there's some climbing in the first bit. So I'm just like,
there's a lot of
stuff, man.
there's a lot of climbing.
It just feels so mechanical and just game packed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the first time it's probably cool, like, oh man, like look, you know, with Uncharted, you're looking at these beautiful vistas and stuff like that. But now I'm just like, fuck off, get the hell out of here. And I'm so glad that the PS5 is going to have reduced loading times, because now there's going to be less incentive for them to do this kind of shit. So that's my wish for the future generation. All this, you know, whatever you want to call it.
First you got to slap down everyone who's like, oh, I love the climbing in Uncharted.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
no,
like,
stop
yeah.
it.
At least this one, I guess there's skill, because like you can die and stuff like that, but it's not like it's fun.
Well, it's
like
not,
the platform is just not
like,
fun.
The thing is like I have the trait where as I'm climbing I can't be shot. Like I naturally deflect laser bolts as I'm climbing, and there's a trait for that. So I'm like, you can just why? There's, you know, I mean, and then later on the last.
You want to just magically teleport up to different levels? Like,
no, I don't mind the climbing, but it's you can tell it's thrown in there for pacing. Like you can tell it's thrown in there just to, okay. Take a break.
But does it make, well, question then, does it make sense to have a level that's got height to it and have climbing in it, or just you want a flat level?
No. Like if there's a reason for it, yeah, sure. Like if there's a level or an area where it's just like, yeah, it's vertical because they want to challenge you and they want to vary up the gameplay, that's fine. But if it's just like, oh, like we want you to like feel like you're exploring this alien planet and feel like you're actually in danger, it's like, dude, I don't give a shit if I fall down right now. Like it doesn't matter to me.
See, for me, like I felt this with Uncharted because it was after I was rolling Assassin's Creed game. That climbing was open-ended enough and like not on a straight yellow path where it was like, all right, this is something. This is like a puzzle that I have to figure out how to climb something. But it's open. But when it's just like a straight line to like find where this works, like,
well, here's the thing, like,
just go up.
I don't know if this is mild spoilers. This is the beginning of the game. Like, this is very mild spoilers for the game. Your character is suffering like basically PTSD for the Jedi from the fallout from the Order 66. So he doesn't. Like, the point of this game is as you go, you remember your force powers. And that usually is the fast track way to get back to your ship after you've already done the climbing traversals and the puzzles. Mm-hmm. So usually as you do an area, you remember how to do something and then you can get back quicker.
Oh, that's the other Dark Souls thing where it's like, oh, you explored this tough area and stuff like that. Here's unlocking the shortcut so you could just like go right back to the temple or the cave or whatever.
But it's usually based on you remembering your force powers. Like I just got the last force power you get.
It's the Metroidvania aspect.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
They even say like you can't explore everywhere. You might have to come back later with more powers. I'm like, that's fair. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun game. I'm glad I picked it up.
So yeah. Anything else? No.
That's it.
All right, Corey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not too much.
I did forget to mention.
Oh yeah.
King Knight's campaign came out for Shovel Knight, and I played through that. Awesome, really fun. One of the better ones actually, and this is the one where it's like a prequel, so it happens before the main Shovel Knight game. I actually did not like the built-in card game in this one. It's just like it's totally optional, and I made it completely optional. I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna fucking fight my way through all this shit because I just can't be bothered with this shit. Like, just it's hit or miss for me. Like, and the thing is, Witcher 3 is coming to Game Pass, so I'm gonna play that as soon as I get through some more of my backlog. But I'm already anticipating that I'm just like, I'm just not gonna like it.
I think I don't know if you guys are used to card games more than me. You might like Gwent. You can get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
I think not necessarily in the game. Like there's a much more robust just Gwent that's outside of that. Like, if you're playing The Witcher, you're probably gonna want to enjoy The Witcher.
Well, I mean that's where it's from though. Everyone went crazy about it at first. Mm-hmm. That's why that game exists.
Well, now that you have a version outside of the game, you don't have to like.
I know, but but in universe, you actually hunt cards and win them off people, and you can get a lot of money. So that's kind of like where it's interesting to me to try to play it, just because you gain
it's a little mini game.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. My recommendation for anyone trying Witcher 3 again is to just get through White Orchard and just those early levels, just power through them, and then it'll get interesting eventually.
I couldn't get through them. I tried.
I mean, it took me 3 times, literally 3 times, to get to the point where the game was like playable and not just dull and stupid to me. But now I've like replayed it 2 or 3 times, and it's probably going to end up on my list. Yeah, for the decade.
Cool.
But for me, also, I've played the Apex Legends Winter event, which we might talk about a little bit when we talk about the Game Awards. The Winter event is pretty cool. It's sort of like it's very different from the typical sort of loot and, not King of the Hill, but last one standing sort of squads like PUBG thing going on in Apex Legends. This one, it's a 3-squad, teams of 3 King of the Hill on a train, and you have distinct loadouts for each character. So you start with a gun, you keep the gun. So it's a cool little mini mode because it feels very different from the main game. It's much quicker. So I've been playing that kind of a lot. The Mirage Express.
Mirage Voyage.
Yeah, that's right. So I somehow I'm playing Apex Legends a lot again. So that's cool.
All right. That's it. We're good. Yeah, all right, let's get into the Game Awards, guys. So yeah, shit happened on Thursday of last week. We had a lot of stuff announced. Yeah, a lot of stuff announced.
Anybody check out the Fortnite Star Wars thing? That live big thing?
You're the only one that plays Fortnite on this podcast, dude.
Did you check it out?
No.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
seems pretty cool though. I mean, it seems like a cool thing. So.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff announced. Do you guys want to go into what was announced, or do you want to go through the awards first?
Let's go with what was announced.
Okay, so announcements. We had a lot of announcements. I'm going to open with the finale announcement, which I
think we got all of our predictions wrong. So.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh
yes,
god.
I think so.
For announcements, I mean, basically, the big stuff we thought we're gonna see.
Well, I think we were all hopeful that something cool would happen, and nothing cool happened.
Well, I mean, especially for Mike and myself, we didn't get Batman, and I feel like.
I mean, there is a part of me that's kind of happy about it just because of all the overhypers that I'm
so bitter right now, Mike. No, this game doesn't exist. It's fucking a failure.
It's been too.
No, it's just going to be cross-generational.
It's been canned. It's shit. They threw it out.
No. You
don't
know
preview,
it's happening.
I'm sorry. You don't preview something on Twitter saying, with a stupid symbol saying it's coming, and then for the rest of the fucking year, show us nothing. The game was fucking canned.
It was because of the anniversary of Batman.
Fucking canned.
So they wanted to say something.
The dream is dead, Mike.
Are you serious, Jim, that you believe there is no new Batman game coming from?
Oh, absolutely, there's a new Batman game, but I believe that the game is way off now.
Well, when did you think it was coming in the first place?
I thought it'd be out next year.
Oh wow. No, that's not how they roll.
Unless they.
Well, that's how Origins did it, right? Origins was like the last year of the last gen.
It should be in the last year of the last gen of the consoles, and it's been in development for so long. You don't tease something in that year before, and nowadays you don't tease and not release in a year. Like you basically have to get that game.
They didn't announce. They vaguely teased. They didn't announce.
It's ridiculous.
Everybody's getting their hopes up for nobody's announced anything yet.
And what was with the voice actor?
He's Mirage, man. That's the thing. That's what I find really funny about this. So Roger Craig Smith is the voice actor of a lot of characters. He's the current Sonic, I believe. He used to be Ezio, and also he's the bootleg Batman that you get in Origins. Sorry, he is. He's bootleg. But anyway, So he started talking about, oh, you guys tune in for the Game Awards, and everyone is like, oh, Batman's coming, it's time, it's here. And it's just he did some live, semi-live or recorded talking as Mirage for the Mirage Voyage thing at the Game Awards, and that was it. That was what his fans were looking for. Because I guess he thinks.
So what if they come out like in March and do like a Borderlands thing? Everybody expected Borderlands to be there at the Game Awards, and they weren't. And they're like, oh, hey, we're here in March, and it's coming out this September.
See, the only thing it could do, which I don't know.
It could do that. If
they would ever do, would be, Bethesda style, announce at E3, release, November, October of that year. It's
I don't think they will, but I mean, who knows? Never know. I don't think that.
Again, we got to remember that if you're going to believe all the rumors, this is a game that got canceled or reshuffled twice already.
The thing for me is like
it was already twice. Because there was rumors of a Suicide Squad game and rumors.
This is the game we're talking about for the 10 minutes. That's not even at the Game Awards.
Yeah, we've been doing it for 10 minutes.
I feel like it's pretty much one of the biggest stories, though, is that it wasn't there. It's very conspicuous in its absence.
Yeah. Well, you got Rocksteady. How far off is their game? 3 years?
No one even knows what that is yet. So I mean, that's next gen for sure.
They're both we need to move on, though.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Fast and Furious game was announced as the finale of this thing.
Oh man, it looks like a mobile game
from the back,
and it looks terrible. It looks like a 360 game.
Yeah, it does. It's terrible.
All you care about the looks.
No,
it's a racing game, Corey. It needs to have good visuals.
It looks old, and it was kind of cringy seeing the actors trying to be excited about it.
I do generally think that Vin Diesel's excited about it.
What does Michelle Rodriguez say? Taken
or Taken or whatever.
Yeah, Taken.
Taken.
I think it's Taken. Yeah. I was like, whoa, okay, I caught that one. That was a little weird. So Tyrese is in this.
She seemed like she was on something.
Probably.
Yep, Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel are in this game. Done by Vin Diesel's company. I saw Tygun Games on there. And it just doesn't look great. For the last gen game on PS4 and Xbox One and PC.
It looks terrible.
Oh god, it looks bad.
I mean, visually, there's no. You definitely dropped the ball on that. And that's your
extremely
big
disappointing.
Yeah,
it's a racing game. It needs
plus,
to have.
When you have live actors portraying the people that we know as live people, you have to make it look good. Because in Jedi, like we talked about earlier, Jedi Order, those people are portraying themselves visually. Are being represented in the game.
It looks so good. It looks plain.
But here, you definitely look. It looks like this is we don't know how to use this hardware, but let's try it out. Yeah. And then that's also with what we saw at the Game Awards too, with some of the stuff that they're doing. Even just with Kojima's, Death Stranding, all that stuff. It's you can definitely do faces a lot better.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. I mean, there was just zero detail in these faces, and I understand it's a year away. But you don't cover that much ground in a year. I'm sorry, you don't. Telltale's Wolf Among Us got announced. The sequel.
Yep.
I think I got that.
Were you excited about that?
I think I got that. In the last podcast. For the one, I think I got that. I have to go back and listen, but I think I predicted that they were going to announce a Telltale game at this. I didn't know what it was going to exactly be, but I did think it was going to be announced. So I'm excited for this. There's no release date for this, but I'm happy to see it in production again. The Walking Dead game. Top 10 games of the decade, guys, is a topic we're dealing with. We're working on for you guys for a podcast, and that's near my top 10.
Interesting.
It's on my list to be cut, but
did you cry like a baby at the end?
The story was so good. It was such a setting for a game.
It was such a different time where.
I'm surprised you were gonna say that because I thought Wolf Among Us was your favorite of these Telltale games.
The problem with Wolf Among Us is I didn't get more story for it. And that I really wanted that.
But the thing was,
when did you realize?
Started it though. The Walking Dead started it though, Corey.
I know, but the thing is, the second season of The Walking Dead wasn't good.
No, but the first one was fantastic.
I know, but you only had one season of The Wolf Among Us too.
Yeah, but I really it's the Clem story and I mean that's that whole thing with it.
I think the nature of Wolf Among Us leads itself to a second season better than Walking Dead did, because it's one of those things where again, just like The Last of Us, Walking Dead season 1 ending was perfect. There was no need to go back and revisit that and follow what's her name's Clementine.
Yeah.
I have no interest, and honestly, the fact that they had like what 3 or 4 seasons now. Like I'm never gonna do that. I'm just never gonna do it. And
it's such a powerful ending. It has such a powerful ending.
It's just such a powerful ending, and
that's why it's on my top 10.
Right. Whereas, and again, this is just my personal opinion here, but like with Bigsby and like all the stuff, there's so many threads that they left open with, that whole story, and plus it's right, and the ending and the whole thing about it's noir, it's like detective stuff, like that's awesome to me. I love that. Like I want to see.
I love that setting. I love that. Yeah,
I love that.
Speaking of Game Awards, The Walking Dead actually won the Game of the Year.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I'm happy, and apparently they did get some people back from Telltale because the company was pretty much just bought out, but apparently a bunch of the employees did come back and are working on it in an official capacity. So that's cool.
Yeah. What do we got? More Cyberpunk 2077. Got another trailer for that, right?
Yeah, I just needed to come out. I don't.
Yeah, I'm to the point now where like I don't care anymore. Just show me the game. Like
I'm just listening because it was announced.
I know. But
it wasn't announced. We just saw more of it.
It was shown.
That's just my feeling now when I see a Cyberpunk thing. Like I'm definitely gonna get the game. It's just like enough. Like this game's been hyped for like a decade. It feels like so.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We get Ruin King and Convergence, League of Legends spin-offs coming.
That's fine. They're announcing so many of them. Again, it's just like show me when it's actual playable, not just tease. Like I think it's cool that they're doing it. I just need to see the actual proof of concept, not just hey.
More Final Fantasy VII, again.
Yeah, that's fine. Love it. Already getting day one. Just,
Yeah, it looks awesome. Like I'm like watching. Again, it's like Cyberpunk where I'm like I know I'm getting this game, and I'm like I don't care. At this point, I'm like That's why the middle of this Game Awards was so boring. I'm sorry, it really was.
Yeah.
Like it started off great, and then
it was rough. Honestly,
I was watching Jets game mostly.
I was like shopping online. I was doing all this stuff while I was watching this, and I'm like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
You know what I did notice? Like as your mind starts wandering, while things just are kind of boring in the middle. I understand. Like I'm all for being comfortable and stuff, but as this is supposed to be like a black tie, like the game's versions of the Oscars, would it hurt these devs to like not wear a T-shirt to the awards? Like there's so many.
They're artists, man. They're artists.
And also not drop the F word in the swearing.
So are actors though, but they get that these are you're trying to present your industry, and it just I feel like it kind of.
I get it. I do get it, but at the same time, so I think it's twofold. I mean, Game Awards is still really not that prestigious, the most prestigious thing that the game industry has. But also, I mean, at least with like the Oscars and all that stuff, I mean, all those outfits are like bankroll. Like it's like, hey, we're paying you to wear this or whatever. Or it's free.
I mean, I'm really like talking about like guys like we could all
wear a sports coat.
Throw together a coat and stuff. Like
no, I get it.
We're not talking about Versace dresses here, but.
No, I get it, and I agree with you. Like, I would like it because that.
Go to Men's Warehouse and rent a tux.
Right.
Rent a tux.
But again, you just have to remember, like, I think we'll get there at some point. Just
because it's just so clear that that's what Keighley's goal is.
Right.
I mean,
you got Green Day and stuff. That was kind of cool.
I actually liked having Green Day on the show. I thought they had. I thought they sounded.
They're not my favorite band. No, me either.
Not.
But just to have the rock genre there, I'm like, all right, good, thank God.
Yeah, I do like that. But I mean, again, Mike, going back to that, they do interviews with these people that win the awards, and they're swearing constantly in these interviews, and I'm just like, there's another professional thing. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So, was it last year? The guy was like drunk.
That bothers me less.
The guy was drunk doing it last year. All right, let's see. We get a nice big. Long 4-minute trailer, I think. Was it 4 or 5 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima?
It was over 4 minutes.
Yeah. So
most of it was just CGI.
It's CGI. Yeah, that's what I was going to complain about it. I'm like, I was bummed what we got because the beginning teaser was CGI, and I was like, okay. I said it on the last podcast. Give me gameplay, and we just didn't get much.
Samurais this awards. Lots of samurais all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand it may be running in engine and stuff like that, but I want to see it. Like, I'm sorry that I'm a skeptic and. I want to see things now for what they are because I'm not going to bite your goddamn miscellaneous jargon bullshit E3 garbage demos. I'm not going to do this anymore. I've learned my lesson too many times. I'm not going to fall victim to, oh my God, this looks amazing. I'm sorry.
You learned.
I want to see what you're delivering. But, yeah, sorry. I'm a little bitter on that. I didn't mean to go on that rant, but Jesus.
Like, well, yeah, but
That's honestly
As
what I felt
far
like when I was watching this. I'm like, I just want to watch. I want to see. Show me the game. Show me what we
Uh,
got.
But you want to, like, it's more about the themes of the game that trailer's about. Like,
I get the
story and
themes. I
stuff
know
like
what the themes are. Give me the game. I already know what the themes are.
that.
We got it from the last trailer.
Yeah, this is another one that just took like we've known about it forever, so it's like it doesn't really help to put a trailer out like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, cool. Like, we're not cool.
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean, I'm confident it's gonna be fine, and
Yeah.
like it's Sony's MO right now is like they've got these 1 or 2 huge games, and I think that it'll live up to that. But yeah, at this point, I didn't care for the trailer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Godfall was announced. That was another. That's a Gearbox game, right?
I think Gearbox Publishing.
Gearbox Publishing. Oh, good. So we're getting Alien.
Well, no,
No,
Gearbox
still-
made Alien.
Oh, did they? I thought they published that.
Oh, no,
I'm
Blue
sorry.
Point maybe, or Blue
Yeah.
something.
I thought they published that. I thought that was the whole.
Blue Point does like all the
thing.
remakes that are really good. so
Okay.
it's not them.
Yeah, so we get that coming on PS5. They announced a PS5 game before we've actually seen the system, which is interesting. What do you guys think? I mean, how'd that look for you?
It looked fine.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked fine. It just seems kind of like
Looter
that style.
slash-
Looter slash. Yeah, it's like, okay, this is within popularity right now, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. How many Magic games are we getting? Because I lost. I didn't know if we're getting one.
There's
or
an MMO and some other one.
It just
and
seemed
it's
like there was like 5 games in there.
Yeah, again, it's like just wait, like tell me about it when it comes out, and you have something
Yeah.
to show. Don't.
Magic Legends was announced. That's for certain. Bravely Default 2 was announced.
That was my surprise of the show.
That was a surprise. Yeah, I would say that's a surprise right there. As it was being announced, I'm like, this has got to be Bravely Default 2. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, it was. Like only because they started with that studio. I'm like, it's got to be at this point in time. I was as I'm watching that. So, yeah,
There is a Bravely the second.
Bravely
too.
Second, right? The sequel was Bravely Second. This is Bravely Default 2, so it's probably taking place in its own universe or whatever, separate from Bravely Default and Bravely Second. Square Enix continuing the tradition that they don't know how to fucking count or name properly, just whatever.
Yeah. Dark Alliance was announced. Another kind of D&D style game.
Yeah, D&D 4-player co-op hack and slash type of thing. I think so. That's cool, actually. I think
I thought it looked good.
Could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. 9 to 5. Tactical shooter.
And there was no real information given with that teaser.
No, not really. Prologue. That's a new game from Player Unknown Battlegrounds style kind of that company.
Mm-hmm.
Not much creepy teaser trailer, but not much else. Sons of the Forest was another creepy game.
Mm-hmm.
Surgeon Simulator 2 that was announced. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
People like it.
The Player Unknown thing, I think, was just more about his name. Like, oh, it's Player Unknown. He's back doing something else.
I'm trying to go through it. New Worlds. Stop me if you want to talk about these. Path of the Warrior.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Skip the biggest announcement.
Mortal Kombat 11's Joker.
Oh no, but I mean, he looks a little better at least.
I'm getting to the other stuff, so I'm trying to leave like better stuff for like you get to talk about your Ultimate. Talk to us about your Ultimate Alliance 3 DLC, Mike. Tell us about it.
I'm glad I know it exists and that it's coming.
Told you it'd be by before the end of the year.
Unfortunately, the timing I think is terrible. Like the 23rd, that means I might get one night before. I don't care about it anymore when I get something new. But I'm glad it's coming.
Yeah.
And it was a slight surprise, so
It was good to announce that. They kicked it off with that pretty much.
I think the character selection is pretty cool. So just for viewers, it's Phoenix, Iceman,
Cable,
and
Cable was a surprise.
And who's the fourth one?
Someone who wasn't a surprise, but we forgot. Oh, was it Gambit? Did we
it
say
was Gambit. It was
Yeah,
Gambit.
it was Gambit. Yeah.
So
pretty
Gambit.
solid.
Yeah, no, I'm just surprised it wasn't Beast. Maybe Beast will be a free update.
Yeah, it'll probably be him and Valkyrie will
because
probably be.
Yeah, because he's in the game. But
Yeah, he's in the
not
game.
And he's an original X-Man too. So
Yep.
So yeah, the X-Men stuff definitely.
A lot more costumes this time around too, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot more costumes on there. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, new trailer for that coming out in March. Man-Eater, That was a weird game. That was you play as the shark, open world adventure.
Yeah.
That was a weird looking game.
It's funny. I mean, we'll see.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Gears Tactics.
It could be like a goose game thing. Type
could
of thing
be.
as people think.
Could be. Gears Tactics actually has me interested.
Yeah.
Because
so it looked pretty cool when they first announced it. So I was like, yeah.
I mean, XCOM for me was such a great game. Again, maybe a preview of what's coming up in my top 10. Enemy Unknown, the first one. I'm looking for that kind of a game again. I think it's awesome to try. This is more of a turn-based style than that was turn-based too. So yeah, this is the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's XCOM in the Gears.
Yeah, XCOM.
It looks like.
Apex Legends. Let's talk about that.
Mirage Voyage.
Mirage Voyage.
Talk about it a little bit.
There is Roger Craig Smith's big feature. That's why he told us to tune in.
Yeah.
And I know I mentioned it earlier. It's pretty much just it is also on the regular map too, not just the King of the Hill Mirage Voyage map. There's also a little section where you can get in there. It's all built up, and it's supposed to be a party boat with Mirage, and you can find some different loot there. But it doesn't change too much. It's just that other mode. It's actually a pretty good, different feeling mode. But we talked about it.
Yeah. Humankind. Sega showcase upcoming turn-based strategy game. I didn't see that one. I missed that. Fortnite had the Star Wars thing we talked about. Warframe was there. New update for Warframe coming out still. Amazing. No More Heroes. No More Heroes 3.
Yeah.
That was shocking to see.
Well, I mean, we
knew about it.
Did we know about that?
Yeah, we knew about it.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't. Okay, I forgot. Okay, I'm sorry. I completely forgot.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been talked about for a while, so I was happy to see that.
Yeah, it's a nice trailer for that. Let's see. I'm scrolling through more here. Bravely Default, Riot Forges, Godfall. Okay, the Xbox. The Xbox
Series
was probably the Series X. Yeah. So that was a surprise. Microsoft, who had an event last month, the XO19, showcased their new system here, called the Xbox.
They named it here and showed what it looks like. Yeah.
The Xbox Series X. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue. I understand there's a lot of flack from this. Design-wise, I'm fine.
Is there though? Like, I don't like what is there flack to be about? I don't understand.
Because it's confusing marketing.
Name sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Name.
I
somewhat cleared it up
since
since then.
Fine.
As Tony posted today, they somewhat cleared it up more recently on the fact that going forward, it's just going to be referred to as Xbox, and there'll be a series after it to let you know what version you have in front of you.
Sure. I mean,
which I think is the right way to do.
That's exactly what I was like. Why wouldn't you just do that? Like, especially since it's
right.
gonna be
So
all
why didn't they just say it right off the bat? Like, why is it just so? Why can't they get this right? Like, it's just so easy, and they make it so much more complicated.
I don't know what you have like issue with it. I think that's perfect. Like, that's exactly what they need to do. Like, get rid of these stupid
Well, right. But then we just found that information today. I'm just talking about Game Awards, whereas Xbox Series X, like,
and that's fine. That's what I'm talking about too. Whatever with the news that came out later, like, I think Series X is fine. Like, just call it Series X. Like, that's what it is.
You're gonna get a Series S, I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah. They get whatever.
I just wonder how they're gonna name going forward.
The Pro Series.
I mean, just the Xbox.
Like the difference here, and I understand there's a lot of comparisons to the Wii U, and I get it. Like, I don't disagree with you.
Why?
Because but I get it because it's confusing marketing in terms of what system you want to go get in the store for like grandma and grandpa to get you.
How is this confusing?
I don't understand. Let me finish. The difference here. Let me finish. I'm saying that the difference here is if you buy an Xbox One X for your kid, you can still play the games that it has, and going forward, these games will play on it. I think it's less important the model of the system you have. I think it's going to get more like PC gaming, where it may not run at 4K, but maybe it'll run on your Xbox One still. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I think as we move forward in these Xbox
really
series.
Curious, like, people are comparing Series X to Wii U.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah.
Wow.
So my also thing was, like, and I remember in the Wii U thing, all they showed was the controller the entire time. They never showed the system at all. And this one, at least, we got the console, and we didn't get the controller, believe it or not, which is
right. But the controller looks exactly like the existing one, which is why I'm saying, like,
it's smaller. It's smaller. It has a share button.
Dude, I'm just saying, to the average consumer, fucking average consumer, they're gonna think it's the same exact goddamn thing.
I don't know if I like the console design of a tower.
It looks like a PC tower. Exactly, dude. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's just whatever the product. I'm just saying the marketing from the start is already bad. Like, it's already bad.
I disagree.
That's not how
As far as like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know how people confuse, because you don't have one in the name. There's no one in this name. So like, how are you confusing like with Wii U? You've had it Wii U.
Why would you? Right, you're calling it a fucking Xbox, and then you're saying, oh, it's the Series X. Like, why are you calling it an Xbox then? Call it a box Series X.
Well, why would you call it? No, because it's not. I mean, it's not what it is though. Like you're saying, it's like
what does the X
iPhone.
stand for?
Like, why do you name the iPhone, whatever, like XS or whatever? It's you just give it a little designation.
But that's what Apple did. They had iMac, they had iPod, they had iPhone, iPad.
No, I understand that. But I'm saying, but that's all you get going forward is you always get iPads. They're just 2019, 2018, 2017. You're not getting, and then you have different designations for them. That's exactly what they needed to do here with consoles. You don't need to go crazy like that.
I don't know, man. I just think they're going out on their own, and Sony's already shown, like, just fucking keep it simple.
Well, I don't think they've shown anything.
No, this is how they're keeping it simple, because now they're just going to be calling them Series whatever. Like, they needed to do this earlier. They should have done this with the ones.
I really don't care that much yet.
I understand what Corey's saying, too. Like, it's getting the brand under one name now. It's forget the Xbox 360.
Like, going forward, everything's going to play on everything. It's like, it's, PCs. It's PC now.
I mean, I guess.
You get an Xbox.
It's
like, can I play my games? Yeah, you can play your games. You don't have to worry about it.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if it plays out that well.
I don't think it's going to be catastrophe like the last system. I don't think it's going to start off at all like that whatsoever. I do think that I don't like the design of the console more than anything because I'm like, where am I going to put that under my TV stand?
Well, you can do it horizontally.
Yeah, but even then it's fat. Like, I mean, it's like, it's thick.
It's a monolith.
Yeah. So it doesn't like, even if you put it on its side, it's still going to be
two Xbox Ones taped together, dude.
Yeah, but even then it's going to be like under there. It's going to stick up.
It's a series of Xboxes.
No, I know that they said Phil Spencer's keeping his on the side and it works just fine, but I don't know. We got a game announced for it, Hellblade 2. Which
cool,
is,
I guess.
It looked awesome.
This was actually
But again, cutscene.
The thing I thought that looked the coolest.
Yeah, but it's cutscene. I mean, it's we don't know if it's a game.
It's fine. That's fine. Like, but what they showcased was like pretty spectacular, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I couldn't even tell if this was like a person or if it was like a CG animated thing. Like the facial technology was amazing on that. Like, you go from that. And then you see like fucking Fast and the Furious at the end. It's like, whoa.
Well, that was notably bad, but both of the next gen things that I saw they did nothing like, that jumped out at me. It's like, this is the new generation to me. But then again, I don't look that closely at these things.
Load time improvements, Mike. That's the big thing this next gen.
Mm-hmm. And steady frames.
The promise of what this system is going to do about being able to pop a disc in, and it knowing you bought it lets you stream it while you install it, instant play.
No, you know what I hear is ray tracing. That's the new blast processing.
And no, it's not.
Ray tracing is actually a thing.
Blast processing is a made-up marketing term. Ray tracing is actually
there was something behind blast processing too.
No, it wasn't.
No, there's nothing behind Brad.
They talked about this.
It was the processing speed.
No, blast processing was just.
It was a word.
It was just a term for
marketing. There are you three people that read a book specifically with an interview with the
from
American president that admitted it was entirally a marketing thing.
It's a marketing thing, but it was based. If you compare, never mind, whatever.
It's not based on anything.
No, it's based on
this is like WWE wrestling. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not real.
Yeah, it's not real, and this is actually real. Ray tracing does exist. It's lighting effects, and it looks amazing. Ray tracing is what was in that trailer, what Corey loved.
I don't give a shit about ray tracing if the steady frames and whatever, like 60 frames, like or whatever, unlimited frames. Give me that stuff.
Well, what 20s on the table? What the power? What this is supposed to have in it is pretty impressive, actually. That's the other thing we didn't talk about. How are they going to get this affordable?
I mean, 12 isn't launching for less than $4.99. And that's why we have the lockjar.
I said that. Yeah. They're going to have the Lockhart, which is the Series S, which will be apparently still able to do 4K 30 frames.
It better be able to do that. If
it's the power of the Xbox. It's more comparable to the power of the Xbox One X at $250 or $299, wherever we're going to get it at.
Mm-hmm.
which would be pretty impressive.
And you have to come out at 400 or something. You have to be able to buy a new Xbox with a $400 price tag.
I don't know, Corey. If they're doing the solid state drives, you can't get that price under $500. There's no way.
Yeah, the SSDs are just way too expensive.
No, I'm not saying that they have to though. If they want to be successful, they have to have a console at $400.
It's gonna have a 64-bit solid state, sure.
Yeah, and that's fine if you go xCloud, whatever bullshit you want to do. Like, but they have to have a console for $400 and make that hard drive expandable easily. Like just plug in a freaking solid state external. Like they don't need to have.
The thing is, it's not going to be compatible with regular spin drives. It shouldn't be because it's all built on the solid state load times.
Right, and that's fine. But like as long as they could have a the 180 or 64 or 120 whatever solid state's in there, it's got to be $400 though. And I don't, there will be people that will buy that system because of the price, and then expand the drive later on. But they have to have a $400 system.
But if you can get a 256 gigabyte Lockhart system, whatever they're going to call that, for $299,
there's no way.
There's no way it's going to be $200. That's going to be your $400 system.
No, I don't think so. I think that's $299.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I can't wait. This is the exciting part of the new generation. Like the console discussions we can have right now going forward is going to be fun.
Yeah. But both companies have to have a $400 system. Otherwise, they will fall flat on their face.
If they make the Series X $400, how do you lose?
Make it about TV.
But I've heard Sony's PS5 is very comparable in terms of power from what I'm reading about this thing. They're both chips
they're going to be right.
Yeah,
they're being close to each other.
Yeah, both companies are focusing on solid states. Both companies are using AMD to make their processors. So it's all very close. So it'll be interesting to see. It's going to come down to release, price.
This is the thing. Like that's why Sony wins for me. I know there's going to be real sequels to series I like. So
yeah. Right.
That's just how it has to be.
Let's move on. Let's move on, though. I understand. Let's go into the awards itself real quick. Run down what we've got, and then we'll be done with this. So let me get this list up. Best score music went to Death Stranding. Yay!
Man, that's. Dude, I'm gonna say the fact that Fire Emblem Three Houses didn't get nominated for anything, but it did win the fan vote, so I'm happy about that at least.
Yeah.
But anything at all, I'm just wow, this snubbery is just.
Best
high.
audio design went to. What is the difference between score music and audio design? Is that just sound effects
and stuff? Yeah.
So that went to Modern Warfare. Best performance went to Mads Mikkelsen in Death Stranding.
Mm-hmm.
Games for Impact went to Gris.
Okay.
Best ongoing game was Fortnite. Best independent game was Disco Elysium, which all I've heard about since then is that game.
Yeah, that won a lot.
Yeah. Best mobile game went to Call of Duty Mobile. Best community sport, Destiny 2. Best VR game went to Beat Saber, which I've heard about.
I've actually played that.
Best action game went to Devil May Cry 5. If we were going to do games of disappointing games of the year, I'd have to start thinking about that game because I forgot it existed this year.
I don't understand.
Talking about how much you enjoyed it too.
I did enjoy it, but hindsight now, I'm like,
wait, what are we talking about?
Very forgettable game.
Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry 5.
That action category is all over the place.
Yeah, it is.
It's like shooters or anything else. I don't know. It was a weird category, I thought.
5, Metro, yeah. Best RPG went to Disco Elysium again.
Mm-hmm.
Best fighting game went to Smash. It won there. Once it won there, Tony, I was like, no chance. No chance. Best family game went to Luigi's Mansion.
I think family game is also a weird category. It's just games that are okay for kids. They're not necessarily I don't know, whatever.
Yep.
It's another weird category for
not mature category.
Yeah.
Best strategy game. Best strategy game went to Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Best racing game / sports game went to Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled.
Oh boy,
that nostalgia.
There's so many awards. Best multiplayer game went to Apex Legends. Best action adventure game went to Sekiro.
So there's action and then there's action adventure.
Yep.
Yes. What is fresh indie game?
It's got to be fresh.
I mean,
it's got to be the indie developer's first project.
Okay,
Only played by guys wearing fedoras.
And and sponsored by Subway.
Yeah. Content Creator of the Year went to Shroud. Best Esports was League of Legends again. Best Esports Player was Kyle.
Bulga or something like that.
Booga, yeah.
Booga.
Best Esports Team went to G2 Esports. Best Esports Event went to League of Legends World Championship. Do you guys feel?
It was that or the International. I mean, there's no way Overwatch was winning that, but
okay. Yeah. Best Esports Coach. I don't care about this stuff. Best Esports Host. Okay, let's go back up. Let's go to the real categories. Best
Direction went to.
Best Direction went to. Well, Best Art Direction went to Control first, which is up for Game of the Year. Best Narrative went to Disco Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Best.
What is it about that game?
Like I don't know. I want to try it out. Best Game Direction went to Kojima, which I was like, you know what? I know we all look that way.
But when that happened, we're like, oh, maybe not Game of the Year.
And I knew it wasn't Game of the Year. I knew it wasn't Game of the Year because I was like, well, he got him an award, so that's done. Now he's not going to get him Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I was shocked that the Sekiro won Game of the Year.
Yeah, I am too. But I mean, I will say the one thing about the Game Awards is like they have gone against what I would say the traditional media grain. Like they were the first to do Walking Dead as Game of the Year.
Journey,
and they also did
Game of the Year.
Journey. Overwatch won Game of the Year, a freaking multiplayer only, online only game. So that's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I like the game part that I played. I just suck at the game. So again, this gets me to the point where I'm like, I'd like to have an easier mode in the game, just to enjoy it. Enjoy that atmosphere in that world.
You had a PC, you could mod it.
I could. So there's your awards. So I think that's your awards there. Overall, it was a good show. I thought, except it was a little flat in the middle. I thought it started off great, but
it was too long. Like if it was in half the time, it would have been.
I thought it was 2 hours. I didn't know it was.
That middle performance by Churches was not good.
Yeah. No.
I thought it was okay. Like I wasn't as offended by it. It was
I wasn't offended. I just think that it was like, if you're gonna do a music video or some music from the video game, like, show us some of the gameplay then, like how it played into it.
I do have to say I love the Game of the Year orchestra medley. That was really cool.
That was cool. I love how they did that. It
reminded me how much I actually like the Outer Worlds music.
Yeah. So, all right. I think it's going to wrap up 477 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. See you guys.
We have an episode before the end of the year.
I don't know. We'll talk about that.
We got to figure it out because otherwise this is the last one of the decade.
Hopefully it's not. Happy New Year if not. Thanks everybody. See you then.